you hear me clear? We should be live. Grand rising to you.
Half of one half is that medicine. I'm good numbers, haven't you heard? I have to contract, I have lost everything. Just like the bucks were dead on parade. The cross is twisted, the stars that will shine. Depression's threatening, the worry's mine. The king was singing, now know he's dead. John wanted peace and it's what it said. Some of my fears, the some of my fears. Some of my fears, the some of my fears.
Yeah, so what's good? What's good?
There was no summer, could they kill them all?
Looks like all of our systems are in a good go mode. That's always a good thing.
The rain came to shoot like a gun.
See if we can get some people on the airway.
Whining like her, does not taste like one. Should drink water, this cancer is mine. Just a witness, one hand on my heart.
Listening to Desi May, Sums of My Fear.
Some of my fears, some of my fears. Some of my fears, some of my fears.
Last year, what did you speak for the fall? Alright, so I ain't did a YouTube video in a while, so I figured I'd do me a go ahead and do a YouTube video, you know, just for general purposes. You know, keeping in with the formality of keeping not only myself enlightened, but all you who are of and around me. You know, this is what's important, that we keep encouraging each other, showing each other, and feeding each other with the proper and necessary information. You know, there's a lot of things that you could give somebody in a lifetime, but proper information may be of the most value. Just keep that in mind. You know. All right. So this stream is pretty much I'm going to do reading out of a book titled The Law of Positivism. All right. Get a good note of who the author is. You might want to Google download this material, you know. And I'm going to suggest and recommend that you feel free to do so. You know. It's always a good thing when we could do something positive in existence. So how are people feeling tonight? It's a nighttime for me where I am. Got the football game on, watching the game while I share my time with you. I'm gonna do a little reading as I normally do. I like to read when I watch football games. At the same time, I listen to the sportscasters. But for the most part tonight, I said, well, let me do a little something different. How about you watch the game, read a book, and put your YouTube video on record? That way, everybody can get a glimpse before Metaverse even gets activated of how we're going to be functioning. You know? All right, so let's get right into this. I don't want that too loud. So the name of the author is Shireen Oberg. All right, has a beautiful mind, and I'm going to share it with y'all tonight. All right, be sure that you share the video too. We're going to go into the introduction. We're not going to be long. We'll just do a little reading, then I'm going to get up out of here. All right. See if we get some more light on the situation. How's that? Huh? That's beautiful. You can get in the comment section. I do think, you can make a statement of how you feel and what you're gonna and how you think about the information that I'm gonna present. You know, let me. It'll always be a good thing if you can let me know if it's something that benefiting you. You know, or is it something that should be upgraded? You know, because a lot of information today needs to be revised. Almost, I'm going to have to surely say all of it, but to keep the relationship we have right now, my aunt, then I'm just going to say that we have to just look into the knowledge that we have today in a higher light with a higher insight now, and it's not hard. You know, it's not something that's impossible because your law states that as a man thinketh, so shall it be. I stand on that, you know, because that lets an individual know how powerful they are, which is the mind. You say the mind is me. I don't show differentiation between me and the mind. But this is why you have to be careful of the English talk. Because when people talk, whether it be unintentionally or not, they are actually casting spells. And you're going to learn this in due time. So Miss Shireen goes on to write that the law of positivism is not a new philosophy or paradigm. And this is why I share this information with you, because I totally agree. I just think that people have been looking at it in the wrong light. See? It's not a spiritual path or religion. Being positive don't got nothing to do with these. It's gathered knowledge, intrinsic wisdom, and the love I have for humanity that has shaped my writings. says Miss Shireen. And it's distilled into one truth that transcends all religions and beliefs, that all is one. Now follow me now. Where have we heard that at? That all is one. Right. The Kabbalion, right? The all, the mind being mental. Right? In this life, with our mirror senses, us humans do not have the capacity to even imagine the vastness of life and the universe. I'm going to just read without commentary on this, but I want you to listen closely and attentively to what I'm reading, and also with your supreme senses that you know and pulsate with. Do your analysis, but keep it unto yourself. So we can sometimes feel it or experience it in dreams or in meditations. But it's really hard to put into words or explain scientifically and logically. Hmm? She says that I honor all those prophets, sages, and wise women and men who have come before me. And I recognize that I am part of them as they are part of me, for we all are one. What are the pillars? She asks. She created pillars for the law of positivism, simply to turn something intangible and unexplainable into something more concrete, as an anchor or as a visual aid made by the constricted tool of language. These pillars are just thoughts and words, and just the foundation to build on while we're on a path to self-realization and healing. But they can help us pinpoint the essence of our being, supporting understanding around energy and how energy works, around balancing the mind, body, and the soul, and around practicing gratitude. These pillars have been crucial in helping Miss Shireen to understand and understand that, and through this understanding, we feel that I brought, she feel that she brought so much healing and love into her life, and I concur. I know the fundamental principles in which makes these things possible. So therefore, I can have what we see as a resonation. You see, you need to be resonating with what I'm saying. If you're not resonating with what I'm saying, then it's just that some work you have to do on yourself. Being on planet Earth only means that I got work to do on myself. It's okay to go to Walt Disney World, Great Adventures, Hershey Park, have a little cookout or something, whatever you delight in the parks and swimming. But be sure that 80% of your existence is in the idea of mastering self, preparing for graduation, to making a transition. How long do you think you're going to be here on Earth? Huh? Think about that. Do you know the average person is not on earth long at all? Let's granted give a person 75 years. That's not long at all. There's people that can do prison time and get out in 75 years and still have an existence. That's not long. So we have to realize that the whole idea of existence is to get in here and return back to the essence with a higher consciousness. See? What's the essence? Your home. Where you from? Your template. Your stargate. Your planet. Your rock. All right? So Mr. Ring goes on to say that these pillars have been crucial in helping me to understand, and through the understanding, I feel that I brought so much healing and love into my life. They have been important tools and components for me on my journey, and I hope that they can help you on your journey too. And this is why, and what brings me now to present to you this information. For these pillars are as your foundation, and you can create your own path that resonates with your soul. Now let's go into energy. We're looking at energy. She has in here energy. You know, there is infinite knowledge, insight, and information as to what we talking about when we dealing with the word energy. Just say it. It sounds beautiful. Like almost like you got a inner type of generation gen generator. I'm I'm just stretching my thinking. Like energy. Huh? Walk with me now. She writes that the first pillar of the law of positivism and the most fundamental one is energy. Why is this? Huh? Because we know that energy always seeks to create, never ceasing to not exist. Ain't that right? Energy must take on matter, must take on form. Energy is the root cause of all existence, isn't it? 666. Six electrons, six neutrons, and six protons. Huh? Guess what? That does though. See, a lot of people they'll quote that, but they don't keep with the expoundment of the idea. Like that's Adam. That's your original Adam. And I'm not talking about the ADAM. No, sir. We talking about the ATOM. That's what 666 does for me. So you see, sometimes I can go ahead and, or not some, I can go ahead, but you have to realize how your world exists in multiple facets. Or I think it's best said, I heard it that there's levels to this. You know, we are all energy, says Sister Shireen. And how do you know the truth of this? Don't just read something and don't know the evidence of it, or don't let this go by with a minimum of concern. Like you're really inclined as to, okay, I know we talking about energy. How am I energy? She said we are all energy. She didn't say some of us. There's a few people. There's a selective 144,000. All of us. Resort back to your Kabbalion. You see how this works? Don't you know that if you ask your phone how much energy that you can that you possess that can light a city, it will give you an answer? We just want to see what Sister Shireen talking about here when she says we are all energy. Don't bump your gums. I need you to show and prove. You know how we play. Showing and proving. I don't need you just lip professing and talking stuff. Like I remember I'm on my YouTube video, I'm on Facebook face. I want to keep this professional. My YouTube videos, I would like to be a little professional. Of course, as I go on, more professionalism will evolve out of me. But just bear with me, you know. Just listen to the message and not pay attention to no messenger, you know. Because I might just do, if I feel like you paying attention to the messenger, I might go ahead and just really trick your mind up. You want to pay attention to what type of clothes he got on, or is his jewelry hanging out his neck? Do he got his jewelry hanging out? Like what's that in his cup? What he drinking? How much that Eddie Bauer cost that he got on his back? I'm talking about. Like, don't be concerned about this. You know. Let me remind you, people. I'm one of the greatest beings that's walking around on the plane of existence called Earth today. Okay. Now, that has been etched in the fabrics of your etheric realm. That's got to manifest and unfold, whether I want it to or not. Whether I was joking, and you know I ain't joking. You better know that. I'm working with all sincere energy and what's it? Sincerity. You know? I'm giving you my heart. I'm giving you my all. This ain't about making money. I'm not monopolizing and joining organizations and getting bigger broadcastings with this type thing that we taking place here. This is only for a hot minute, and I got to go. You know, have to be the individual to see if you was really paying attention to some people here on Earth while you was here. Was you really getting what you needed to get while you was down here? Was you really with some of the thoroughness down here on Earth, or were you just down here? You know what I'm talking about? All music that's being played is strictly for fair usage and enjoyment and comfortability on my part. 'Cause I am enjoying this tunes that I'm listening to right now, as I'm giving you the most electrifying resources that you can obtain while here on Earth. You know, that's important. Connecting with energy, integrating energy, emitting energy, absorbing energy. This is what you're doing right now. Like a hyperboloid. In the North Pole and out the South. Like the martial art Karate Kid. He told him get the paintbrush and paint the wall. Did you know the significance was for that wrist to be able to be flexible? He didn't give a damn about how beautiful the wall was painted or how well or how fast you can paint that wall. Don't be fooled. He needed you to get into the motion of slinging that. That way, when the right time comes and these things is going to be required, you be able to act off a memory muscle. You see? I do it sleep. First, I'm going to tap into your energy grid so you can't escape movement. I'm not here to teach martial arts. So let's get back to wow. Really got some. I'm doing some wasu. Yo, so yeah, I'm the God Nate the Great. You know, like I said, I am one of the greatest beings on the planet Earth right now. And let's be clear, I didn't say I am the or the most. I am one of, you know, and I stand to be corrected. I stand, you know, to pretty much what's the word I'm looking for? Stand to be questioned and addressed or even confronted, you know. Let's not get nothing twisted. You know, I don't stand to be debated because my reality and truth doesn't need to be validated. I'm simply working off of what the seven principles, you know, seven harmonic principles. And that can't be taught. That's the paradigm in which we exist. That's the mathematical code to the equation of the whole. That's like the pi. 3 equal MC squared. You know, I don't know if you know that, so I ain't gonna ask you if you know. But it's okay. You'll see it. You'll see it once you grow. And that's what it's about. Growth and development within self first. And everything around us. No. I want to go back to where she goes on to say that we are all energy. You ain't all human beings. You ain't all people. You just energy. That's it. Here having an experience. You playing in the game on Earth. Shakespeare told you best. The world. Well, actually, he didn't tell you best, but he gave you a hint. He said the world's a stage and you're just merely a player in it. What he want to say is that the world is a disc, a game, and you're only simulating through it. That's why you say you're not a human being having a spiritual experience. You're an energy ball, a spiritual being having a physical experience. You see? Supporting self. We're going to get back into this. This is very electrifying here, and I was glad. I started not to do this, but now I'm glad I did. I feel a lot better. Because one thing I want to say is that I'm not just talking to you. In fact, I'm actually not talking to you. I'm going over the notes of myself from the far and beyond stage. It's just like playing Madden. If you got a quarterback or wide receiver or running back that you had created, and this particular individual looked like you know, you could make the nose, you can make the eyes, you can make the eyebrows, you can make the hair, you can make the whole entire character look exactly like you. Put your favorite number on the character and even your name on the back. And put him at 6'4", 215 pounds. Of the same exact skin complexion. And you'll swear, somebody say, damn, that does look like you. Well, see, you developed that only because you knew how it played out in this syncretism and its syncretism, or in this syncretism, or should I say syncreticity, you know? What I mean by that, the idea of what we do of anything has infinite amount of mobility and same like of matter and kind. How do you know this? Simple. You go to a carnival and you go into a mirror room. They call what they call a mirror room. I mean, people been there by wave of hand, been in the mirror room. Then you know what it's like. You see yourself infinite for eternal. And then you can go and start working your way through the maze to see if you can free yourself. Well, that has a lot of symbology in it, you know. You have to study that whole concept. Even to the part where the man come and saves you. Yeah. In this world, somebody got to come save you sometime because you just get so far off course. Easy to be led in the wrong direction and hard to be led in the right. You see? Miss Shireen goes on to say that connecting with energy, integrating energy, emitting energy, absorbing energy, transforming energy, and everything around us is energy. If we hold this as truth, we also understand that we are eternal and infinite. So why do we fear? Why do you fear? False evidence appearing real? So if we are infinite, she writes, why should we be limited by something as mundane as thought? Thought can create and transform energy as well as shape and transmit energy, and only through the addition of the emotion that fuels it. Our minds and thoughts are the tools with which we can create the reality in which we live. I want to read that one more time. Our minds, which is who you are. I told you in the beginning, I don't differentiate between mind and me. But for the sake of conversating, I'm going to give you a pass. And let us realize and see that you are the tool with which you can, in the physical, tangible plane, create the reality in which you live. You have the innate ability to change. Huh? Excuse me. You have the innate ability to change. Nobody, I can't change your life for you. I can't even change your mind. Did you know that? Did you not really peep how deep that is about? We can change a lot of things in life. But the one thing that nobody can change unless you allow it is your mind. It's you. Change you. The mind is you. You are the mind. It's both one and the same. Keep that in remembrance now. I want you all to keep that in the most forefront of your brain. Okay? Keep that in the most forefront of your brain. Mind is you. You are mine. Say it to yourself. Mind is you. You are mine. I want you to keep that in the most forefront of your brain. Never, ever forgetting that. No, you're not a third eye. You're the first eye, the Jedi. Check. Let's get that bell. We need a bell on that. See, that bell puts it in like more engraved in a stone. Yeah, because bell is like it sends rhythms, vibration all throughout the whole goddamn electromagnetic shield or field, whichever one you will. Hmm? So if we are infinite, why should we be limited by something as mundane as thought? Thought can create and transform energy. All right, only through the addition of the emotion that fuels it. Our minds and thoughts are the tools with which we can create the reality in which we live. We have the innate ability to change our perceptions in order to change our reality. Everything we see around us is made from one consciousness, one thought, one idea, manifested in the physical form. Energy is created through thought and emotions. All right? And therefore, the energy that we transmit to the world is fundamentally created through our conscious and subconscious mind. You need to be clear on that. So I got to go back over and read it again. Be aware of our subconscious mind. It's thus key, as our subconscious mind might be shaping more of our lives than you actually are realizing. And that's particularly if you're not in control of thyself. So we're going to look at balancing the mind, body, and the soul, and we're going to close out on this note. The second, which happens to be the second pillar of the law of positivism, and that's balancing the mind, body, and soul. See, a lot of people want to be positive, especially our church people. They want to be good. They want to be positive. They want to go to heaven, but they're not. They don't know how. They're not practicing no principles. You know, it's like they don't have the keys. You're in the house, but you can't get through none of the doors. You can't go inside none of the rooms because you don't have the key. So you're just constantly running around the house all day, in and out, instead of going ahead and get you a key and get yourself settled down in a nice, comfortable room. Well, this is how the mind is. This is how the mind operates. This is how most individuals is functioning in this electromagnetic grid that we are in. You see? So the second pillar of the law of positivism is what? What did I just say? Let me see how if you paying attention. This is the most part of the class I hated too, when the teacher does that. Knowing from the beginning the shit was, excuse me, the class was born, and then we're 42 minutes in the game, and you turn around and ask me, ask me a question, period. Most they falling asleep. They ain't paying attention. You might have one person that's gonna snap right back with the exact answer. Oh, balancing the mind and the soul. Check. Because they coming in all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. So the second pillar of the positivism, which is interconnected with the law of energy, is that mind, body, and soul all work together to create the energy that we transmit to the world. All right? When one element is out of balance, just one, the others follow. So if we spend hours and hours of meditation, but then go on with our day without taking care of our body, feeding it unhealthy foods and substances, you can't go to church and then turn around and go to McDonald's. That's two strikes. You see? We talking about spiritual and physical. The mental might be you in Harvard. So you excel in there. You got all A's in school. This is just simple mathematics I'm giving. I don't want to bring this hard. I don't want to make it hard. I'm not like a Naeem Akbar, a W.E.D. Du Bois. I'm talking about Chancellor Williams and nobody. I'm I'm a God from the whole entire planes of existence. I'm in and out. I make incarnations from head to head to head to head. This is what I do. And I'm here today just to give it to you so you could do the same thing. You know, I'm one of them type of free spirited type energies. You really just don't really see too much until we come around. And if we come around, it's meant for you to have us around because you're being gifted, not blessed. You're being gifted. think I'm done reading. I don't want to read no more. I'm going to go on and finish watching the game. It's been a pleasure doing this YouTube video. I do want to add that, plus the ringing of the Liberty Bell. All right. You have been dismissed. All right. Be sure that you gather all your belongings and your property. Take your notebooks. Don't leave them in the desk. All right. And just do some dissecting, digesting it, manifesting of what you've learned here to on this, what is it, YouTube video, right? Is that what we doing? Or we Facebook live streaming? I got to consult my people, they do all the technicality all around to make sure that I can sit here and give you the light that you need. Y'all call it information. Yo, make sure you keep it original too, all right? If you can't keep your body organic, at least do the mind. You're going to be 3/4 of the way there. And that's real talk. So I'm going to end this. I think I'm going to end it with some of the tunes that I've created for myself, since this is my YouTube video. And I appreciate whoever watched this. And if you ever heard this, you ever heard me, you watched this stream, I'm going to tell you now, you are one of the greatest ones. You are, if not now, you have time to come to be. That's the whole idea and reason why you're watching this. So that you can somewhere along your journey find that information where, yep, you all right. You ain't strange after all. You are different. Yep. So keep doing good to yourself and do it on purpose. I've done that. All right. When I come back, I want to also deal with what it is to be a shaman. You know, when I come back, we're gonna talk about some shamanism. Yeah, I've been getting y'all ready for that. I've been thinking about you, letting you know about some of that information. You know, I've been into some material, and I said to myself, wow, some of these people might want to hear some of this here, what I got to add to it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, everybody talk about shamanism, and there's books on shamans and so forth, and you got your cell phone, you can Google it, but it's nothing like hearing the ideas of the most elite beings talk about things, and this is what's most important, that you stick around and stay tuned in to the most elite of beings on the plane of existence, not the globe. That's important. Okay, nice. Yeah, I did this. That's in fact the name of the name of the tune is titled "I Done That." Yes, keeping it live. 2021 for all time.